In this video, we're going to do some product to sum rules. The first one is going to be the fact that the sine of x times the sine of y is nothing more than 1/2 the cosine of x minus y minus the cosine of x plus y. So I'm going to find out, I'm going to expand cosine of x minus y, I'm going to expand cosine of x plus y, and then I am going to subtract them. The cosine of x minus y is cosine x times cosine y plus sine x sine y. And likewise, the cosine of x plus y is equal to cosine x cosine y minus the sine of x times the sine of y. And if I happen to, once again, subtract these on the left side, I'll get cosine x minus y times the cosine of x plus y. And on the right side, if I subtract it, well, these two are exactly the same, so when you subtract them, they cancel out to 0. But when you subtract these two quantities, you'll get 2 times sine x times sine y. And just rewriting it, so I divide both sides by 2, get sine x times sine of y is equal to cosine of x minus y times the cosine of x plus y over 2. But instead of dividing by 2, I'm allowed to multiply by their reciprocal. And of course, when I subtract, I should not get a product. I apologize for that. Same thing over there. And this whole thing gets divided by 2 or multiplied by 1/2. So here is our first product to sum or product to difference. Next one. We want to show that cosine of x minus y plus the cosine of x plus y is equal to cosine of x times the cosine of y, and once again this is times by a half. So we're going to write down the same exact formulas we had a moment ago, and the only difference is this time we're going to add. So we still get cosine x times cosine y minus sine x times sine y, and this will give us cosine x cosine y plus sine x times sine y. And if I add them on both sides, this time I will add the left side, plus cosine of x plus y. Well, in addition, if you have two quantities that are equal, except they differ by signs, they go bye-bye. And if you add the same thing to itself twice, by cosine x cosine y, you will get 2 of them. Solving for cosine x cosine y by dividing by 2, the right side becomes cosine x times the cosine of y, and the other side becomes cosine x minus y plus cosine x plus y over 2. But instead of dividing by 2, I can multiply by the reciprocal. Let us now look at the third product to sum or difference formula. We want to now look at the sine of x times the cosine of y, which is equal to sine x plus y plus, should be plus the sine of x minus y. And that half gets distributed across the whole right side. So this time we're going to play games with sine x plus y and sine x minus y. And it turns out that sine of x plus y, well, this is sine x cosine y plus sine y cosine x. Likewise, the sine of x minus y, this is going to be sine x cosine y minus sine x cosine y. Of course, I meant to say sine y cosine x. Now, I want to add these. When I add, the left side is going to be sine of x plus y plus the sine of x minus y. When I add the right sides, these being exactly the same but having different signs, they cancel, and I'm adding the same thing to itself 2 times. So I won't get sine x cosine y, I will get 2 of them. And then solving for this gives me sine x cosine y, divided the right side by 2. So now I have to divide the other side, which I'm writing now, by 2. But an alternative to dividing by 2 is by multiplying by the reciprocal. There's your result. Let us look at the next one. In fact, I'm going to do it right here. I want you to see that it's nothing major. Nothing that we didn't just do. The real big difference is that this time we are going to subtract the 2 results. And of course, we're going to get a different result. Gonna get a different result. This time we're gonna get sine y cosine x. So we have the 2 identities below, and this time we are going to subtract them. We're gonna subtract. The left side is gonna be sine of x plus y minus the sine of x minus y. Looking good. I have almost the whole right side. I could easily multiply by a half and have the right side. And on the other side, when I subtract, since what I have underlined are exactly the same, and you subtract, you'll get 0. And sine y cosine x minus a negative sine y cosine x, why that gives us 2 sine y cosine x's. Divide the right side by 2, and you get sine y cosine x equals the other side, but you also have to divide the other side by 2. But dividing by 2 is the same as multiplying by 1/2. And there are the 4, let's see, product to sum and difference formulas. You can convert a product of sine of one angle times this cosine of another angle into a sum, okay, difference of sine of x plus y minus sine of y minus x minus y. Just don't forget to divide by 2 or multiply by 1/2.